Melissa strengthens into Category 4 hurricane. Hurricane Melissa was cutting a deadly path through the Caribbean on Sunday, strengthening into a Category 4 storm as it crawled along a worrying south coast towards Jamaica and the island of Hispaniola. Melissa has already been blamed for 3 deaths in Haiti this week as its outer bands brought heavy rain and landslide. In the Dominican Republic, which shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti, a 79-year-old man found dead after being swept away in a stream, local officials said on Saturday. A 13-year-old boy was missing. You feel powerless, unable to do anything, just run away and leave everything behind, a 66-year-old homeowner who fled her neighborhood in the Dominican Republic told persons with tears in her eyes. Floodwaters had inundated her home, causing her refrigerator to flow away like trash, boomed around the house. The United States National Hurricane Center said on Sunday that Melissa had intensified into a Category 4 hurricane, packing winds of about 140 miles per hour and moving at 5 mph. This storm was expected to set off life-threatening and catastrophic flooding and landslides in parts of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola. The NHC stated forecasting continued rapid intensification followed by fluctuations of intensity. Melissa was expected to be a major hurricane when making landfall in Jamaica on Monday night or Tuesday morning and southeast Cuba late Tuesday, it added. As of Sunday, Melissa was about 120 miles southeast of Jamaica capital Kingston and 280 miles southwest of Cuba. The Dominican Republic's Emergency Operations Center said 9 of 31 provisions were on red alert Saturday due to risk of flash flood, rising rivers, and landslides. Melissa could bring 15 to 30 inches of rain in portions of southern Hispaniola and Jamaica, with isolated areas expected to receive as much as 40 inches, the NHC noted. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Friday urged residents of flood-prone areas to heed warning and be prepared to evacuate. If you live in an area that was flooded before, expect that it will flood again, he noted. Norman Manley International Airport, which serves Kingston, announced it will close on Saturday evening and urged the public not to travel there. The Jamaica Information Service government agency said on Saturday that all seaports have been closed. Melissa is the 13th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, which runs from early June to late November. The last major hurricane that impacted Jamaica was Beryl in early July 2024, an abnormally strong storm from the time of year. Beryl brought downpours and strong winds to Jamaica as it moved past the island's south coast, leaving at least 4 people dead. NSWME says garbage collectors will continue working until Hurricane Melissa makes it unsafe to do so. Garbage collectors from the National Solid Waste Management Authority will continue working until Hurricane Melissa makes it unsafe to do so. That is a declaration from NSWMA Executive Director Ardley Garden. Speaking with reporters, Mr. Garden said that NSWMA has increased cleanup operation across Jamaica following the announcement of the storm. He said the authority's regional teams are working non-stop, particularly in public areas and town centers, to clean loose garbage from roadways and reduce the risk of flooding. In the meantime, Mr. Garden is expressing concern over the number of cut-down trees being left along roadways by residents. He said this may clog drains and lead to flooding.
As is per usual, we always work right up until the time when we consider it unsafe to do so. So as we speak, we are out. And when I say we, myself included, right now, I'm out in the Meadowbrook area where we have a little issue run about Ilana Avenue belt that we are trying to rectify. We are trying to push to get the first trip off, that we can get another trip in. It is very overcast. Very, very overcast. We're not sure if the rains will, prevent the second trip. But we are pushing hard. So while we're cleaning up the mini dumps, people are creating other issues now because the trees, the water will carry the branches to and go and clog up the drain and cause flooding. So really and truly, I'm asking people, if you're cutting tree at this time, to put out on the roadway. It is better if you should have cut the trees already from the time the bulletin started. But if you are late cutting, don't put it on the roadway where the water, when it rains down, the water can carry it all over the place and clog up the drains. It's a lot of that going on, and it's going to be real problematic if we continue with that. Because the truth is, the branches are very light, and the water will easily carry them away. And then you have all sorts of flooding all over the place.
This could be the worst. While Jamaica is no stranger to tropical storm, Principal Director of the Met Service of Jamaica, Evan Thompson, has warned that the looming Hurricane Melissa could hit the island with greater effect than Jamaica has ever seen for decades. Addressing a special press briefing at Jamaica House, Thompson confirmed that Jamaica should be seeing the worst of Melissa starting yesterday after some section of the island experienced storm force wind and rain. According to Thompson, Melissa, which has been maneuvering through the region since last week as a tropical storm, will see rapid intensification starting today as it moves on a course of the consensus is should take it across the east and south of Jamaica before heading northward along the island from Clarendon. It should make impact with the coastline by Tuesday morning. During this period, we'll be experiencing quite a bit of rainfall. Much of that rainfall will be moving across Jamaica, and that will be producing significant flooding. When we have 2 inches of rainfall, that is a whole heap of rainfall. So when we talk about 15 to 25 inches, that is much more than you have even imagined it to experience. I wish I could describe it because we don't usually get the level of rainfall. But if you have experienced any of our major rain producers in the past, this is going to be more, added Thompson, who warned that flooding could be life-threatening. Thompson noted that slow pace at which Melissa is moving could make it stay with Jamaica for some 5 days, with 2 days of storm force wind and 3 days of hurricane force winds. So expect that throughout the week will be impacted by the system. It will be very difficult to move around, even after the system has basically said that it is moving away. Warren Thompson, as he noted, that some of the assessment and cleanup activities, which are usually done just after the weather system passes, will be much delayed this time around. We are going to be prevented because of blocked roads, because of landslides, because of the amount of water that remains over the country, and it is going to be very difficult to move around, assuming that all these plans out the way that it has been projecting all this time, stated Thompson. The veteran meteorologist noted that Melissa could impact Jamaica as a Category 4 strength with winds of 130 to 156 miles per hour, which would be stronger than Jamaica has ever experienced. Hurricane Gilbert in 1988 was a Category 3 when it moved across Jamaica. It became Category 4 when it headed to the Cayman Islands. Ivan was Category 4 hurricane, yes, but that center did not pass over the island. Beryl 2024 was also a Category 4 hurricane, but it also did not impact us with a landfall. It was a direct hit because we got the heavy rainfall and the associated weather, but did not move over the island in terms of center of the system, noted Thompson. We have not had this experience before, so it is important for us to consider that it is an extraordinary situation, declared Thompson, as he warned that heavy rain and flooding will continue even after Melissa leaves Jamaica and heads towards Cuba. Thompson further warned that Jamaica could also face storm surges, which could devastate some communities as happening to the corporate air community of Caribbean Terrace during the passage of Hurricane Ivan in 2004. That community no longer exists in the way that it used to because of storm surge. We could also note that with Ivan, with Dean in 2007, and even with Beryl, we had significant storm surges on the south coast, in Rocky Point, in Portland Cottage, and there are other areas on the south coast that were also affected by the storm. Storm surge is also a flooding event. It is not the flooding from the rainfall, it is the flooding that comes in with the water from the sea. With the tremendous rain that Category 4 hurricane can produce, that will push the water onto the shoreline and it will be pulling back into the sea. It takes houses and communities even back to the sea along with it, stated Thompson. He urged Jamaicans living close to the shoreline to pay attention to the possibility of storm surges, particularly people living in St. Thomas, Portland, Kingston, and St. Andrew initially, but Thompson noted that people in St. Mary, St. Catherine, Manchester, and Clarendon will also face danger. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.